we go, record on the computer. We're going to be talking about thriving relationships within your business. So with that being said, what kind of business are we within? And let me know in the chat, do not overcomplicate this. What kind of business are we in? We're in network marketing, we're on social media, but what does that mean, the kind of business that we're in? If nobody's gonna guess, I'm just gonna give you flat out the answer. Helping others, relationships. Yes, so very, very, just like said right here, relationships, yes. So y'all already know, we are in the business of relationships. So with that being said, if the connection is not there, both in our business and within, this is talking from a customer side. This is also talking from a business side. If there is no connection, there is no sale. There is never a point in time where we have a sale and then the relationship comes afterwards. Now, 9 times out of 10, I know for myself, and I'll speak from my personal business experience, when it comes to relationships, sometimes you have people that just go out there and they make their purchase, they grab what they want, and then they go about their merry way. But 9 times out of 10, you're somehow having some sort of conversation with somebody. You are talking to them beforehand. You are getting to know their needs, their wants, their goals, their vision, what they are striving for before you have some sort of sale, quote unquote, whether they become a customer or they enroll within the business. So with that being said, while we're going through everything on here, I hope you guys have some sort of notebook, or if you have the notes in your phone, something. If 2020 taught us anything, especially as business boomed within the year of 2020 for so many people on here, and so many, so many up sitting here, like how many people here started with their business in the year of 2020? Who started in 2020? Like, say me in the comments, right? Dropping me below, because I'm going to tell you there's a lot of people probably on this call that started in 2020. Why? Because they made some sort of relationship with someone along the way, right? So if 2020 taught us anything, let it be that connection is vital. Connection is vital. So with all of this being said, I'm loving all of the me's in the comments. I'm loving all of this. See, like so many people decided to start their business in 2020. So let's go over a few different things. Think about a relationship. Think about this with your business. They go very hand in hand, okay? Whether this is a relationship with another person or a relationship within your business, a relationship with a customer, whatever the case may be. What do you bring to the table, right? Think about this. In any relationship, what do you bring to the table? What do you offer in the relationship? A few things that I think of that come right off the top of my head. My energy, my communication, my heart, my honesty, right? My being reliable. I am trustworthy, right? I am real. So think of these things that you have in any sort of relationship. Now I'm going to ask you, do you believe in what you have your hands on? Do you believe in the products? Do you believe in the business? Comment yes or no. Do you believe in what you have your hands on, the products, and the business? Because then I'm going to ask you a fourth question, which usually is what throws it through the loop. This is what usually throws it through the loop, right? All right, great. So we're all on the same page. We believe in the business. We believe in the company. We believe in the product. We're like, yes, we have our hands on gold. Do you believe in yourself? Do you believe in yourself? Because that's usually where the loophole comes in. 100%, yes, yes, yes. Okay, here we go. Everybody's like, yes, 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 I do. So sometimes, and I say this because we always like to bring realness to the table. We want to bring something to the table that you guys can walk away with, because I'm going to guess exactly why do we don't, right? We don't sit here and compare, right? So I say this out of the kindness of my heart. When we are working our business, when we are showing up, when we are going live, sometimes and this, steer me if I'm wrong, the thought comes through our head of, oh no, I'm not confident enough. Oh no, like, I believe it, but maybe they won't. You start to second guess yourself, right? That's kind of, so, it kind of comes along with the business. It kind of comes along with life, right? And that's okay to say, honestly, not all the time, right? That's what I was looking for. I was looking for someone to be honest. So thank you, Maddie. I appreciate you, okay? Because I've been in that point in my business where I'm like, my energy's not there. I'm really not feeling that confident today. Like, I'm not where I want to be yet. So who's going to listen to me? Because I'm not at the top, right? All of these different things. I will say too, the biggest thing that I learned is that you feed off of other people's energy. Now, do not twist that with it being with the thought of you're faking it till you make it, right? Your energy attracts your like-minded people. Your energy attracts your like-minded people. So we're going to build off of this. Oh, where did I write? Right here. I'm reading off my notes because Lord knows if I do not have something written down, then it is out the door in the neighbor's house and like I'm never going to find it ever again. What I'm building off of here though is if you know what you have your hands on. You know the products work. You know the business plan freaking works. You know it works in your favor, and you know other people are thriving off of these products and this business, and multiple, not just 5 people, multiple people are seeing success within the company. Just because you aren't there yet does not mean it's not possible. So with all of that happening, you're also building this like, know, and trust factor within your business, within your community, within your social media. This is not just people that are already customers with you. This is not just people who have already, enrolled with you as a promoter, right? This is building that like, know, and trust factor within just your community and your ideal audience, the audience that you're speaking to on a day-to-day basis. So again, I'm going to say this out of the kindness of my heart. We cannot sit here and not show up out of fear of lack of confidence. And if we do, wait, hold on a second, Kate. By not showing up due to lack of confidence or fear of failure, we are being selfish by holding back what we have to offer people. If we believe in it as much as we say we believe in it, then we will show up come hell or high water to offer what we have to someone else because it was so kindly given to us, right? So I shouldn't have. Whoop. There we go. I'm not paying attention to the waiting room, Kate. Diane's already got that, and my squirrel brain goes otherwise. I know you got it. I'm looking at your face right now. I'm just going to open myself up to speaker view. So we want to talk about a few things tonight, right? We're going to talk about relationships. We're going to talk about communication. We're going to talk about how to do it properly, right? Because sometimes that's where we get hung up in our business. That's sometimes where we get hung up in, in our business. And so, my squirrel brain goes on overload when I have about 50 notifications on my laptop. So do not mind me. I'm going to reference back to my notes really quick. I want to speak on the common problem within relationships, like I said, communication. This is a big thing that Diane's going to go into when it comes to relationships within social media, relationships within your customers, relationships within your team, relationships within your spouse, your support system, those that are, within your household supporting you. So communication is 9 times out of 10, and I'll speak from my own experience, where a lot of people have complication within a relationship. Why? Because either we're not voicing our needs, we're speaking before we're listening. So that is a big thing that I will say for my own self. I have learned a lot when it comes to business, and something that I'm sure every single one of us can learn from when it comes to this. I remember, who here has ever word vomited in a message? I'm talking about communication here. Who has go ahead and say, yeah, I have. Guilty. I'm going to tell you right now, I've done that, right? I word vomited as soon as someone's like, hey, so what do you do? And I'm like, here is everything I've ever known about the product, about the business. And like, I'm going to end up probably sending you 3 voice memos or a 6-page essay. Okay. Yeah, I know. Yeah. I was trying to duel it, and I think yes, I do. So with that being said, we've all been there. We've done that. How can we grow from it? Right. So when someone reaches out to you, whether it's about the business, whether it's about the product, the number one thing, and maybe you've been here before, is that we react before we listen. This often happens in relationships. We react without responding. We just automatically react before we listen. We react before we actually get before we actually listen to what their question is. So with that, don't react before getting a question. Do not give all the information. And I don't say this as if hide information from that. I'm not saying that. I'm saying answer the questions that they ask rather than overloading on information. Diane and I, we were on a Zoom planning this out earlier, and she was like, it's literally like going on a first date, right? You're out on your first date, you're out to dinner, and you're like, hey, so, I think this is like a great match, and, do you want to have my babies? Like, would you want to have my kids on the first date? You know what I mean? So instead of me like, so I have options A, B, C, D, E, F, G. This would be great. Skull. balance. I mean, shit, honey, you should do the business too. And they're like, you're psycho. I can't stand you. I'm out of here. Peace out, Girl Scout, right? So don't be that. We want to. That's why we went through. I know. When Diane said that, I was like, oh my God, it's for real though. That's a real life thing. Like, they would be like, never, they're ghosting you from there. They just are. So think about that with your business. That is why in the Beyond a Million, the guide section used to be called units. That's why those conversations are so simple. That's why the wording is very minimal, because we are not here to overwhelm someone with information, just like you're not here to ask someone to have your children on the first date, right? When you are first starting out talking with them. And I'm glad they are helping, but they are simple for a reason. They are simple for a reason. Like I said, we don't want to give them the crazy alert. Been there, done that. If you've done it, who cares? You learn from it, you move on, right? Chances are they probably are still watching you because you left a little impression on them, okay? So with all of that though being said, we're going to go into depth as to how to create these relationships, again, within social media, customers, your team, your spouse, all of that jazz. So if you haven't already pulled out a notebook already, because what Diane and I were also speaking about earlier is that oftentimes we are sitting here, we're like, okay, go build relationships. Okay, go build relationships. Okay, go build relationships. And who has ever sat here and they're like, I have no idea what they're even talking about. Like, what do they mean? Build relationships, like grow my network? Like, do I need to actually talk to people? Have you ever felt that way? Yes or no? Have you ever been like, oh, I have like no idea what I'm doing? What if people don't talk back to me? What if they think I'm weird? Do I say hi? Like, hi, hello, like, how are you? What's that TikTok? You know? See, okay, we're not all in separate boats. Okay, I'm glad that people are agreeing. I'm glad people are like, yeah, I have no clue. I have no clue, because that's what tonight's training's about. Is all about how do you actually build those relationships. Because let me tell you, if you're sitting in a boat and you're like, hi, hey, it's not going to go anywhere, right? So how do you take that relationship? You're growing your social media, you're growing your network. How do you bring that to that next level? How do you bring your active service, right? Because your service equals sales. Service equals sales, right? You have to provide some sort of service. You're providing some sort of energy. You're providing some sort of solution to a problem. You're providing a story that someone can connect with. You're providing a light at the end of the tunnel for someone to see from a similar situation. And again, this is all looping back to like your target audience, the people that you most connect with. Again, keeping their goals, their wants, their needs in mind. So people are already skeptical. We do not want to give them another reason to question it because of our own belief. Hear that again. I'm going to say it a little differently. People are already skeptical about the products, about the business. Does this shit really work? Do these vitamins actually give you energy? Does the shake really not taste like a chunky, chalky, shitty shake? Like, does the DFT, is it a sticker or does it work? Is the business real, or they get paid or do they not get paid real money? I used to call it monopoly money in the beginning when I started, where I'm like, here, you pass go, collect 12, like whatever it is, right? Is it actually real? Do not give them another reason to become skeptical about it because of your belief, because of your energy that you're giving off, because of your relationship that you're creating with them, because X, Y, and Z, you fill in the blank. So like I said, if you haven't already grabbed a notebook already, grab one now. Diane is going to flip over into how to create these 4 types of relationships that we're going to go over tonight. So again, we're going to go over social media relationships, relationships with your customers, relationships within your team, relationships with your spouse, your support system. And there's going to be some tangible tips that you can take away from here tonight that you can start applying literally after we get off this meeting.
Okay, y'all. So we are going to start with relationships on social media. So that is part of what we do for our income producing activities every single day. But how do we do that effectively? We need to start out by figuring out who is your target audience. I am a mom, I'm a teacher. I'm not going to try to connect and build a relationship with someone who is fresh out of high school. They're a college freshman, they're out living their best lives. They don't have any other responsibilities in the world other than showing up for school. That is not my target audience. My target audience is going to be someone with the same interests as me, someone who I can truly vibe with. We can click, we can joke about certain things. Think about your ideal best friend. Who is your best friend? What are their qualities? How are y'all, interrelated? How did y'all build that friendship? It's the same situation. You want to build a relationship with people with similar interests, people who you can truly inspire and connect with based on your stories. So, how do we do that? How do we find our target audience? How do we build those connections? We do that through our stories, y'all. Our stories are literally like the day-to-day life, the ins and outs of what we do. Instagram is a huge highlight reel. So they could be having the absolute worst day of their life and they're going to post a beautiful picture of them and their family. When you go to their stories, they're having a terrible day, or maybe someone just got laid off from work. They're walking you through their entire day. So go and connect with them through those stories. I would rather connect with someone through stories versus an Instagram feed. I will tell you, for the most part on Instagram, when I'm going through the feeds, I'm connecting based off of what I'm seeing right there. But if it's someone that I'm truly trying to build a deep, deep connection with, someone that I would want either on my team or that I know could benefit from these products, I'm going to respond to their stories. I am going to go live after I see that they have posted something. Maybe they're talking about how exhausted they are day to day. Maybe they're talking about, how much they hate their 9 to 5. Use that as a template for what you're going to go live and talk about. And y'all, relationships go down in the DMs, whether you are, using it to build a friendship or a deep connection. Everything goes down in the DMs. So respond to their stories. It goes straight to their Instagram direct messages. I know Katie, what she likes to do is if someone posts something on Instagram on the feed, she'll go to their messenger and send them a message. Hey, I just saw your post. I really resonated with that. I just wanted to say, I see you. Something that really is going to be like, oh my God, this person is truly interested in what I'm posting about. If they're not following you, if someone were to send me that and I was not following them, I would follow them back immediately, tap through their stories and see what they're about. So go and do not be afraid to be bold and message them. This is not a message like, hey girl, you're so pretty, join my team. We don't do that, but we are building genuine relationships and connections based off of our common interests. And so be human, y'all. Connect, have conversations. It is no different than, going to, I don't know, like a little meet and greet where you're around people and you're talking to them, you're getting to know them. It's just done in a different platform. You're doing it online. And honestly, that is more my jam because I am very awkward in person and I hate small talk, but man, I can do it behind my phone. No problem. So that is how to build strong relationships on social media. But now, relationships with customers. Relationships with customers are so huge, y'all. Maybe you are thinking that, okay, well, I haven't enrolled this person yet. I haven't enrolled a person in, I don't know how long, whatever. If you have customers that you have already enrolled, y'all, they are not one-time transactions. Your relationship with them, building trust factors with them, is so important in your business. Returning customers are just as important, if not more important than, bringing new people in, just because that customer retention is what's keeping your business going every single day. So with that, don't ruin it by ghosting them after you swipe their credit card, y'all. Follow up with them. Reach out to them on day 1, 2, and 3 when they get their products. Let them know, hey, your product is in the mail. Let me know when you get it. Hey, I saw that it delivered today. Follow up with them in a week. Follow up with them halfway through. And most importantly, y'all, do not put them on auto ship and leave them on auto ship and then just let it run. Follow up with them. Hey, your auto ship is scheduled to run on this day. Do you want to me to go ahead and let it process? And if discuss their needs, y'all. Some people cannot pay for products depending on what's going on in their lives. So talk with them. Hey, I have credits that I can send your way if that would help you out. Does that sound good? And if it doesn't, then respect the fact that, you know, they maybe don't have the funds for it that month. But not just that, y'all, not just reaching out to them and just talking to them about the products. If they post something on social media, maybe they got a promotion, they got engaged, they got a new puppy, whatever that may be, reach out to them, send them a message, send them, oh my God, I'm so proud of you, congratulations. Send them a message on Valentine's Day. Hey, thank you so much for, you know, continuing to help and be part of my business. I appreciate you. Just wanted to reach out and say thank you and have a wonderful day. Something small like that is going to go such a long way. A lot of people believe in sending cards, like thank you cards. I personally do not have time to write thank you cards. I wish I did, because a thank you card in the mail is something that is forgotten. It is so simple and people appreciate it so much, and not a lot of people send out mail anymore. So if you have the time, if you have the means, go ahead and send them a thank you card after they place their order. Hey, thank you so much for supporting my business. I can't wait for you to get these products in. You're gonna love them. Send them a birthday card in the mail. Send them a birthday text. Send them a birthday message or a voice message, letting them know that you truly appreciate them in more ways than one. That is what is going to keep these customers returning, not the fact that they love the products or that, you know, they are absolutely in love with them. I mean, we know we love the products, but it all comes down to people are going to buy you over buying products any day of the week. And so trusting, trust factor is key. People buy you exactly. Interact on their social media, let them know what's going on in your life, keep up with what's going on in theirs. And it might seem like, oh my God, I have 1,000 customers. You don't have to do this every single day, y'all. Since, block out some time to do this. Go ahead and block out an hour of your day to reach out to all of your customers and check in on them. What's going on? How are you? How's everything going? If you know that they're going through something tough in their life, hey, I'm thinking of you. I'm sending prayers. Let me know what I can do to help, that kind of stuff. So treating your customer just as a real person versus a transaction is huge. I'm going to pass it on to Katie now. She's going to talk about relationships with your team, because this is so important as well. So Katie, go ahead and take it away.
So relationships within your team, right? We also, you're gonna laugh at this one. I can't even take credit for this because Diane said it, so she should be the one saying it. But I said, I was listening to a podcast, YouTube, and it was all explaining about how there is a difference between, when it comes to your team and being a leader, right? There is a difference between a recruiter. There's a difference between a recruiter and a sponsor, right? There is a big difference. And I was like, how do we put it in a way of like, how do we word that? She was like, well, we're talking relationships. She goes, recruiter's a one night stand. A sponsor's a long-term relationship. I was like, bet, that's it. That is it. Like that's pretty much, it's a one-time transaction, right? Being as a recruiter. Now that does not take away from the piece that we do in this business, right? But there is a huge difference in enrolling someone, and there's a huge difference in enrolling them and being their sponsor, right? So that comes with relationships within your team. Now, I also want you to hear me out on this when I say, I don't care if you just started and you have 0 people within your team right now. You are still a leader of yourself. You are still learning these pieces to then, implement and duplicate within your organization, right? Because every single 161 of you led yourself to a call tonight, led yourself to show up for your business tonight. So these are pieces that you can take along with you to then duplicate in your future, right? So with that being said, there's a difference between recruiter and sponsor. So what do you do after you enroll someone? What do you do? How do you create that community? How do you create that connection within your team? I'm going to tell you right now, we're going to say it often throughout this, refer back to Beyond a Million. We have a whole checklist, What happens after you enroll someone, right? A, B, C, D, E, F, G. There you go. It's all listed out for you. So if you don't know what to do, go back into the guide section of Beyond a Million. It's all written out right there for you, okay? But there's a reason behind that. There's a reason why we have that there. A, to make it easier for you. B, so we don't just enroll someone and be like, okay, so you're in the teen group, you're in the Facebook group, you're in the chat, like, let's get at it, let's go, right? Because 9 times out of 10, they're gonna be like, I have no idea what to do in this group. I have no idea what purpose it serves. I have no idea how to utilize this group chat, right? So now, after we have established a want and need for this business, we've established that they want to do this from the business side. They want to become a promoter. You've already enrolled them at this point, right? So this is where you have to have that conversation with them. Every single person you enroll, every single person, and get to know it even past your personally enrolled people, right? Forming that connection, forming that relationship within your team, forming that bond. What are their goals? What do they envision for themselves? Why did they start this business? What does their day-to-day schedule look like? Do they work full-time? Do they work part-time? Are they a full-time stay-at-home mom? Are they a full-time stay-at-home dad? Do they work 3 jobs and they're like trying to fit this in during their overnight schedule? What are they doing, right? Get a feel for what your people and what their day-to-day life looks like so you can help them fit this business into their day-to-day so they can work this and still receive benefit from it. Because I don't care what kind of schedule you work, when there is a will, there is a way, and you can make this work and still receive benefits from it. Have you Zoomed with them yet? Have you had one-on-one meetings with them? Do they, like I said before, do they know how to utilize the team page? Do they know what your group chat is for? I would hate to throw someone in a group chat. Next thing you know, they're like, whoa, wait a minute, Kate. What are these people? What is happening? I'm on sensory overload. Like, my phone has never blown up like this before in a group chat, right? So it's so important to have that piece of explanation, so they know what they are being added into. It is all out of love, and we are all there supporting one another, right? That's what all of these chats are for. That's what the team page is for. But also explain to them that's, again, you're taking that extra step, which should be taken as you enroll someone, to explain to them what they are getting into, right? And this goes in any relationship. This goes in a relationship between you and I. This goes in a relationship between me and Joe, me and my dog. It doesn't freaking matter who it is. A relationship is a two-way street, all right? A relationship is a two-way street. It takes 2 to tango. See what I'm trying to lay down here? Okay. So with that being said, this applies to you as a leader. This applies just as much today, me being 15 months in, right, where we are today, right, within our business, just like it does you that just started yesterday. So this applies to me today, just like it does for the person who just started yesterday or today within their business. Meaning, no one will know our needs unless we voice them, which is why it is so crucial to have that relationship within your team. So come hell or high water, someone's got you. Someone's got you somewhere, right? But they know they can come to you with a question, with a concern, with a, hey, you probably said this 100 times, but it hasn't sunk in my brain yet. And like, I probably know the answer to it once you tell me it, and the light bulb will go off, right? But a relationship is a two-way street. Now, I want to give you an example, right? I'm going to use an example between like our own relationship. So let's say I'm in a bad mood one day, and myself, I'm like, well, don't you know I'm in a bad mood? Like, can't you tell? Like, I'm upset. Like, thinking Joe knows what I'm talking about. Thinking Joe knows how I'm feeling. But no, he doesn't, because I didn't flat out tell him, listen, I'm kind of like, this is what's going on. This is what's going through my head. This is what I'm dealing with right now. Now he just thinks I'm in a bitchy mood. Like, now he's just assuming. Why? Because I did not communicate with him, hey, this is what's actually happening right now. So now he's just thinking, oh, great, here goes Kate again. Like, oh, watch out. Don't talk to her today. Like, oh, Lord, right? So that is what we're talking about with the communication piece. And we know men don't pick up on they don't. They do not. Love our men. But, that's also my fault too, because I was not communicating. Same thing happens in business. If we're struggling with something, or we have a question about something, we cannot assume that our leader, our sponsor, our best friend, or whoever, your side sister, doesn't matter. We cannot assume that they know what's going on. That doesn't mean that we're not touching out, that we're not touching base though, right? I think it's super, super important. And I will say I am still growing. Every single person on here, doesn't matter what rank you're at, doesn't matter how many in sales you've got, every single person here, and even our top leaders will say that they are growing on a day-to-day basis, that we all learn from different situations. We all grow through different seasons. We all grow as business progresses. We grow as life goes on. That relationships are so key though in regards to no matter how many people you have on your team. I know for myself, it has been a game changer just by making personal touches. Make it a point to reach out. Make it a point to reach out to people past your directly enrolled people. Make it a point to have that connection. Because let me tell you, there's no I in team, right? Like really cliche kind of BS. There's no I in team, but your team goes way deeper than just who you have personally enrolled. So having that connection with other people has been huge as well. Being, just a few other pieces too. How can you stay close? Because I will say it is up to you. It is up to you, my friend, to stay close to the fire. It is up to you and only you to stay close to the fire. And I will tell you, I remember when I started this business and I was not in a good place mentally. I was not in a good place financially. I was not in a good place overall. The only sane thing that I felt like I had was this right here. We had 10 to 12 optional meetings a week. If this was the consistent thing in my life, so be it, let it be it, right? So if that is what is going to be the same for you, if this is your consistency, if this is something that you can show up to every day without a doubt, and you know you're going to be there either in the morning, Monday through Friday at 10 a.m., or you're going to be there every night at 9 p.m., or you're going to show up here every Sunday right at 9 p.m., and you're going to stick it out the whole time. If this is your form of consistency, let it be that. But be active, be close, like stay close to the fire, be active in your team chats, say good morning, clap other people on. That is the biggest thing you will ever do, is clapping other people on, even if it's not your winning season. Maybe you're in your growing season and you're planting all these seeds and you're like, well, Sally Sue enrolled another customer and Sally Sue enrolled 3 promoters tonight. Like, I haven't done anything. So I'm just going to sit here and I'm going to wait until I get to pull mine. No, do not compare. Clap for others, because your season will come and then people will be clapping for you in return. So like I said, be active in your team chats, be active in the team page. Stay close to the fire. Do not put these meetings on the back burner. We're going to get into that. Diane's going to touch into meetings and balancing and all of that jazz. But also, as a leader too, get to know your team. Get to know what everyone's different. Some people like words of encouragement. Some people like gifts. Some people like, what's that third one? The love language, not touch. I'm not going to come over here and give you a huggy, kissy, love language kind of thing. What's the third one? Why am I drawing a brain fart, Diane? There's, oh Lord. What's the third one? Words of affirmation. There we go. Okay. I'm like, physical touch. Let me hug ya. Duh, just kidding. Stay away. Hi. We're in that still year later. Drawing a brain fart. That's my love language. Here you go. You speak in my language, baby. That's my kind of love. But I already touched on reaching out. I already touched on the communication piece of it. And, everyone here, and whether you want to believe it or not right now, everyone is in the same corner here. All 159 of us, we're all in the same corner. It's just a matter of who, I don't even say who do you vibe with. I want to say it's a matter of who do you connect best with? Who are you looking, for me, I'm always looking up to who's 2, 3, 4, 5 steps ahead of me, right? That's where I'm looking. And that means no offense to anyone else in their success. But I know if that's where I want to go, that's where I need to lean into, right? So, like I said, we're going to get into I'm going to pass it off to Diane. She's going to do the relationships within our support system and all that jazz.
Okay, y'all. So something super important in this business also that kind of goes to the back burner when you are such a hardworking person is relationships at home, relationships with your spouse, with your support system, with your family. There's so many of us who I know are laser focused, and we tend to forget about, our why. The whole reason we're doing this is for our family, to better our lives, to better, my son's life, his kids' lives. We're here to make a difference and make an impact and change our lives in the process. So how do we balance relationships with our team, with customers, with potentials, and then still have time to balance relationships at home? Y'all, it comes down to everything communicating. Communicating. You have to communicate with your spouse. What are your goals? What are you working towards? Are you telling them what you're going to do? Are you saying, here's what I'm going to do, and this is how? This is what I need from you. I need 1 hour every single day to work with my team. I need 30 minutes on a Sunday so that I can plan out everything that I need for the week, so that I'm not on my phone 24/7 and we don't get into that argument. What if they don't support you? What if they don't want you to be on your phone? What if they don't want you on meetings? Or what if they don't see your goal? They don't support your business? We hear this so often, y'all, but it comes down to, are you taking the time to communicate with your spouse? What are you reaching for? My husband knows when these bonuses dropped that I am going to be unavailable for a while. That's not meaning that I am going to be neglecting things around the house. I'm not going to be neglecting my son or my husband. It just means that I'm going to need a little more time to work intentionally with my business and with my team. That means I might be on my phone until 11 o'clock at night or midnight. That means I might be in my office, packaging up samples to mail out, and he's taking care of the laundry. My husband is like a golden unicorn. I will tell you that he does everything around the house without any, hesitation or without giving me any kind of grief. But it wasn't always like that. I had to definitely, talk to him. Hey, I really need help with this. It comes down to communicating, being intentional with your time. So maybe you are a stay-at-home mom. Maybe you are working from home right now. When your husband or your spouse, your son is at school or work or whatever the case may be intentional. Set an alarm, set a 1 hour timer and say, okay, I am going to do interactions on Facebook or Instagram for this amount of time. I'm going to get posts up. I'm going to reach out to my customers. And then you can do whatever you need to do around the house. And then you can take care of your husband and your kids once they get home, and you're not missing out on that family time. If they're still like, oh my God, this is too much, you're spending too much time away from us, how can you come to a compromise? What would make that person happy and you're still able to do what you want to do? So okay, well, I only need, like I said, 30 minutes on a Sunday for you to watch the kids. I need every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday for you to make dinner. And then Thursday, Friday, I'll make dinner, and I will make the morning meetings instead of the nighttime meetings. Be intentional, communicate, and bring them along this journey with you, y'all. The whole reason you're doing this is, to change y'all's lives, to change the trajectory of your lives. And you can't do that if it's just a closed door where you're not actually communicating back and forth with your spouse, with your support system, with your family. I will tell you, in the beginning, my family didn't really support me making the switch to this new company because I had already done this before. I was with another company. I was not seeing the success there. And then I went and jumped right into this one without even like any kind of hesitation or without really thinking about it, because I had seen what it had done for 6 months. So they knew that, with another company, I wasn't doing anything, achieving anything, and they were skeptical. And so they were like, oh, I don't know. I don't know if this is a good idea. And at the end of the day, y'all, someone else's lack of support is not going to determine your success. At the end of the day, they are going to support you and love you through this no matter what. And just kind of prove them wrong. I am very competitive. So if you tell me not to do something, I'm going to do it 10 times harder. So if you're like that, then have that bulletproof mindset. Don't let them get into your head. Don't let them tell you that you can't, because you absolutely can. But don't be afraid to communicate what you need, what you want, and where you're trying to go. Katie, I think you were going to wrap it up after this one. So I'm going to hand it back to you.
at the end of this, the biggest relationship too that you need to have is a relationship with yourself. Know what your goals are, know what your intentions are, know the heart that you are leading with, and that will bleed into your team as well. That will bleed into your business as well. No, and just noticing where are you right now, right? Look at it where you are in your business. If you want that connection piece to be better between you and your customers, so they are still thriving, we have this great ability for people to thrive for free. Build that relationship, whether it is past customers, customers that just started. Start now. There's no timing. There's no timer saying like, oh shit, well, that relationship's out the window. Bye. Like time's out. Like, it doesn't matter, right? Start building that now. Same with your team. This does not mean that like, oh, well, it hasn't been there. The energy's not there. So like, I might as well not even try because like, blah, 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 blah. Like, start now. You need to start somewhere in order to grow into somewhere, right? If you want things to get better in a certain area of your relationship, guess what? You point it out, you work on it. Do that same thing in your business. Do that same thing for yourself. You will see that duplicate, and it actually brings everybody together that much stronger. And then it also gives insight to those that might be questioning, or maybe they're like, oh, I don't really know. Just let them know that you see them. A simple, I see you, like, I got you, I'm here. Know that. If you didn't know that the first 10 times I told you, honey, I'm still here, right? And just build that bond within yourself, within your customers, within your team. It just bleed like your relationship skills bleed into so many different areas of your life, and don't forget that. So with that being said, I think that wraps up everything that we had. Court, did you have anything, or did you want me to close it out?
No, just thank you girls so much. I love you and value you and appreciate you. And I love that about our community is if you guys haven't figured it out yet, you will soon enough if you are new, but you are surrounded by some of the most brilliant, caring, and hardworking individuals. And there's just so much to learn from anybody you can get your hands on, honestly. So thank you, Katie. Thank you, Diane. You both have built amazing teams here, and I know you're just getting started, and I personally love to learn from you also. So thank you, guys.
Thank you. We'll see y'all tomorrow morning on the MMM. Bye.